One of the toughest parts of Warzone 2 is securing the win. I mean, we all like dropping high kill games, but winning in Warzone 2 is very difficult and much more rewarding than winning in Warzone 1. So today I'm going to be giving you a bunch of tips for endgame while actually breaking down a really clutch endgame that I had the other day. Then we're actually going to do something different. We're going to jump into a live commentary. I'm going to be spectating trios, kind of talking you through different options that team has and really taking you through my thought process based on the situation that they're in. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So like I said, we're going to start off by breaking down a pretty clutch endgame that my teammate and I had here. Now we're playing duos and I want to start off with when do I start thinking about endgame. I start thinking about my positioning and where exactly I want to be about in this fourth circle. You know, when this fourth circle starts closing, Gulag is obviously closing, I start thinking about this endgame and kind of the best place for me to position myself. I also want to highlight that I'm going to get sniped from a guy in this building. One of the biggest tips that I can give you is to always remember where people are and always think about where people can rotate from. Those are two things that we're really going to highlight in this breakdown right here. Now, when it comes to positioning, every time a circle moves, you need to think about three things. You want to be in circle, with cover, then power position. You need to have cover. High ground isn't great if you're caught out in the open, so now TCAP's able to get one down and thirst right there. Notice that we do not get the team wipe right here, right? So even though his name is team wiped, we don't get the team wipe, so we're still thinking about where that other enemy might be. You're going to see us kind of going back and forth with a lot of different decisions. Cluster strikes and mortar strikes, I don't love necessarily in Warzone 2. Precision airstrikes are really good, especially for your end game. So going back to in circle with cover, then power position. You know, high ground is great, except if you are caught completely out in the open. You're going to see a little bit of that as well in this. Right here, I'm getting sniped. I've got to be careful. I'm coming to my teammate and kind of marking exactly where he is. So we're going to remember that. Now, as soon as this circle closes, right? In circle with cover, then power position. And always remember where people are. So we know there's a team here in this building. So we're thinking we want to play either this building right here or the corner of this one. And we want to get high ground here because once we get high ground, because we're in this building, we have plenty of cover there. So that checks all three of those boxes that we're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and precision this right here. And we actually kind of make a decision here in a second of when we want to go push. And notice that I don't waste that precision. If we get a knock, and the reason that I had that out, let me explain this real quick. The reason that I had that out, TCAP is sniping with the signal, which is a super quick sniper. So if he gets a down, I can precision that, we can get the thirst, and then potentially play this building. So we were kind of working together there to see what we can do. Now, we're going to go ahead. We're still kind of waiting a little bit. Now, we hear this guy flying in, so we're going to go ahead and challenge this guy. We want to make sure... I have no idea what just happened there. Okay, then. We're going to go challenge this guy just to make sure our backs are covered so that we don't have anybody rotating in from behind us. Now, what you're going to end up seeing is you're going to start to see these decisions be made about, okay, when do we need to rotate? We're going to make sure that we have everything we need, and now we're going to start to push over. Now, right here... we actually hear this team over this direction fighting in this building. So we go, okay, now's our chance. Let's go ahead and get this building to the right. We can get high ground, and then we can potentially hold that, not even hold them, we can potentially get some shots on them. We can get a kill potentially and really start to take control of this side of the map. That is one thing that we want to be thinking about is, as I mentioned earlier, always think about where people can be rotating from. So when we think about 8 teams left, you know, we've kind of cleared this side right here. There's probably still a lot of people on the other side of the map. Still a little bit early to start thinking about that, but we do want to remember. Now, we hear some fighting over to our right. TCAP's doing a really good job with the sniper over there. I'm still concerned about the team in this building right here. And where TCAP's fighting 184 meters away, live pinging people, that's not really a great range for the RPK. So I'm going to focus on this side over here and make sure that we're at least safe in case these guys are peeking. Now we're going to take some pop shots just to see, and guys, you can see right there, it's not a great range. I can tag a little bit, but the chances of me getting it down are pretty slim. Now, we catch one on this building. So now I'm concerned about this team and this team. And guys, end games get chaotic and it's a lot of information, but a lot of your end games are going to be about positioning. And if you're in a good position, two things. One, you're going to put yourself in the best spot to win in terms of, you know, cover and if you go down. But second, you can actually pick up a lot of kills during end game, which we're going to do right here. I've got 12. I'm not sure how many TCAP has, but we're going to pick up a lot of kills. Still worried about this team, still worried about the team that is over to our right. But if notice that I'm kind of focusing a little bit on this team, because if this guy peeks out where my mouse is, he's dead no matter what. So we're going to go ahead Still trying to see where he is. You know, he's not peeking long enough, but we're going to end up frying this guy straight across. And notice that we're definitely a little bit, we're going to have to cozy up a little bit in this corner, but we've still got plenty of room. The only time we're in a bad spot is if we, you know, get precisioned or clustered or something like that. Now watch the RPK right here. I'll put that build down in the comments. Real quick as we kill that guy, if you are looking to get better, make sure you are subscribed. My whole goal is just to help you become a better player and do videos just about every single day. So if you are looking to get better, just consider subscribing down below. So, like I said, guys, every single circle, 3 things that you have to ask yourself. In circle, or 3 things you want to think about. In circle, with cover, then power position. Look at how far we have to rotate here. I'm always trying to rotate early. Now, if it's a tough rotation and there's already people there, yeah, we can start to talk about gas plays and stuff like that. But we're going to go ahead and fly over here. Look at TCAP. TCAP already pinged the highest spot, which is going to be our high ground. And this is a really tough end circle because there's a lot of open area. You're going to see exactly how we play that. There's a reason I chose this end game right here. Now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to loot up just for a second here using the truck as cover. Where are there still teams, right? You've got to think that there's still teams over this way that have to rotate in. So we're going to go ahead and grab plates and immediately start to push up right here. We're immediately going to push up, try to get to this spot that TCAP pinged. Still thinking about the fact that there's people up here, right? TCAP was sniping at people up here. We didn't get those kills yet. So we're going to go ahead and try to take out this guy. Now I'm in a much better range compared to where I was before. So he mortars us. I precision. One thing that I will say, smoke grenades, guys, are really good for end games. You can see it right here. Smoke, I smoke there, and then I kind of take this little angle, which gets a little bit tougher, but we're once again going to smoke here to rotate. I get shot. He loses track of me. There's nothing that guy can do. I'm going to be able to push in. Now, when we talk about in circle, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys, you'll learn this a lot from experience. And like I said, after this, we're going to do one of these live where it's going to be a little bit slower. But 5 teams, we've got 6 other people still alive. That's something you want to keep track of. But notice that we're kind of in the center of zone right here. So we can get killed by teams over here. This is where it's a little bit of a tough spot. We can get killed from guys over here. We can get killed from, there's probably not anybody on this side of the map, right? That's really out in the open. But there's a guy right here. There's going to be people that are rotating up. And what I'm concerned about is a guy that pushes from down low all the way around this hill just like we did and shoots us in the back before we can even do anything. In the meantime, though, we're going to go ahead. We just got to hit shots right here. That's where the RPK is nasty. We're 100% going to get that thirst because everybody has self-revive. Self-revives can ruin your end game very quickly. And now, what we're going to end up doing is just kind of holding this high ground a little bit. TCAP said that there was one out that way by the live ping that's now playing in gas. But you can see me thinking about, okay, we know there's 3 teams left. We got to think about our back here and be careful because of the TTK, guys, you can go down immediately. Right there, we get a team wipe. So, constantly keeping track of who's left. We've got 2 teams left and 3 other people. So there's 2 of us. We know we're in a 2v2v1 scenario. Why I highlight that, guys, is if you get down in a thirst and it's not a team wipe, you've got to know that you're now in a 1v1 and that other teammate, or a 2v1v1, that other teammate is going to be close by. So you always want to pay attention to these numbers up here and try to piece together what the teams look like. Now, right here, we're going to tag that guy just a little bit. We get the live ping. Can't quite get the knock. So we're going to start to put the pressure on. Once again, in circle, because we got a new circle right here. In circle, with cover, then power position. We're just going to kind of shift up a little bit. Now, when you get down to like this 2v2v1 or 2v3v1 or whatever it may be, you're starting to think about that a little bit less and starting to think about keeping pressure on them. So TCAP gets a down and thirst right there. Now we know we're in a 2v1v1 scenario. Let's talk about this moment right here, guys. This is a little bit of a tough call, and you can go either way right here. TCAP goes down, no self-revive. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to peek this side. I see him right here, and this is where the decision happens. The moment he drops down the hill, I decide to revive TCAP because he doesn't have self. So if I go to kill that guy and then get killed by the last guy, we lose. But that guy, even if he selfs, is going to be low plates, right? I know that he's by himself. We can kind of keep that pressure on. It's kind of, but you could have gone either way here. I could have gone either way. So I'm going to quick revive him so that he can plate. And now I'm going to go ahead and push up. Now, I thought for sure he was going to drop down the hill, try to get a little bit more cover. He ends up being to my right. And guys, look, I go down right here. So now we're in a 1v1v1 scenario. Look at TCAP, right? TCAP is now, I can't see it. Let me see if he's full plated. TCAP's full plated right here. So as soon as I get shot by this guy, he's broken, he's broken, he's broken. I get killed. TCAP's right here to get the down and thirst on that guy, right? So now this is on TCAP in a 1v1 scenario. Still kind of thinking a little bit about where he might be. It's a little bit unusual for him to be on this side of the map. He's starting to think about, you know, maybe he's on this side, but look how open this is, guys. There's nobody back here. So he's just trying to figure out, is he down below? By the way, I picked up 4 kills there. TCAP picked up a bunch. This is a 28 kill game as a team. We need to get the last one. And like I said, guys, stick around for the live commentary after this one. This one's going to be something I've never done before, but I'm going to give you insight into what other teams should be doing. TCAP's just looking. He's probably down below, just not 100% sure where he is. Now watch this, guys. He gets shot. He moves first. Notice he's moving first, plating second. You can't slide cancel while plating, can't move well while plating, can't sprint while plating. So we move first. Now that guy gave away his location. TCAP's in a really good spot here. Gets caught with the signal, quick switch, headshots with the Chimera. There's the 1v1 scenario. And by the way, guys, in this moment right here, keep in mind that when you break this line of sight, this guy has no idea where you are because there's no audio. So the moment you break this line of sight and go down, you played up. Now you kind of have the advantage, especially with this circle pull, right? Because he has to push to you. And that's one thing you always want to keep in mind, and who has the advantage with the circle pull. That will help you determine a little bit more whether you need to rotate early or late. So there's the end game right here. We're able to clutch that dub. He was going for the execution. He gave up. Let's go ahead and jump into the live commentary here. So like I said, we are picking this up, spectating this in 4th circle. I kind of told you that this is where I start thinking about end game. This is still a little bit early. I mean, look how big this circle is. It could pull towards airport could pull towards this way. We're not 100% sure yet, but this is where we start to think about that. This is where we want to get into the mindset of slowing down just a little bit, starting to think about how we can clutch the win. Now, unfortunately, right now, they are down a player. We are in trios here. Jimmy 2 times has 4 kills. We've got Rent Free here with 5 kills. They just grabbed loadout. They actually just wiped a team. And now you kind of got to focus a little bit on getting your teammate back. You've got the buy station here. You got the buy station here. So they're going to go ahead and keep driving, which I don't mind here. You got loadouts still up. They're not in a bad spot. And like I said, this is a little bit early to really focus on endgame, but we want to start getting... They just drowned the car. Now they're in a really bad spot here. When we talk... Yep, they're dead. They're going to die here. There goes one. He does not have a self-revive. Let's see if we can flip to the second who's on the bridge. This is where... He's underneath the water, so he actually might be... He actually might get out of this here. Rent-free might get out of this, but it's still going to be a brutal clutch. Are they going to revive? They're going to go for the res here. But look at where they're pushing towards, guys. There's no cover or anything. There goes one. Rent-free's push. Jimmy's alive. Rent-free goes down. They're getting clustered. Jimmy's going to push away. So they're really just surviving at this point, barely. They do not have enough for the res. So Rent-free's still alive somehow. He's swimming underneath. Oh my gosh, how do they just get out of this? Now, they can still flank these guys. They're not in a good spot. They kind of have to deal with this team first. And look how far away from circle they are. So when we talk about in circle, and let's see what they do real quick, and then we'll talk about where exactly I would rotate to. No, what I would do is I would disengage this, guys. I'd swim all the way up and try to get towards this area right here. I would not try to fight this because you have 39 seconds here until gas starts to close. So what you're going to end up doing is you're trying to challenge this team while you're... And they already know where you are. Yeah, they are probably not going to survive this right here. I don't know why that flipped that cam. This is going to be really tough to survive. Look how far they have to rotate, right? When we talk about in circle, any of these buildings would be okay for now. Any of these buildings. But when we talk about where we probably want to be, like this building right here is center circle. It's probably going to pull there. Now, that's a little bit of a tough circle to get to, right? Because there's probably already a team there. Keep in mind, think about where teams are most likely going to be. There's most likely a team that's been here for a while now. So if you push this building, you've got to be prepared for a team to be there. They are just barely surviving right here. Down, back underneath. He's going. Let's turn to Jimmy 2 times here, who's above the water. Rotating into zone. If they clutch this, I mean, this is just an absolutely insane clutch right here, and we got to witness a good one. I think the likelihood at this point is pretty slim. Yep, Rent-free's about dead. Rent-free's still chugging along, though. Now he's dead. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to Jimmy here. Jimmy's going to be by himself. This is a full... I can't really see. He's got to go back underneath. But see how he's fighting... See how because they didn't rotate early and they tried to challenge that team, now all of a sudden they're fighting away from this team. They're swimming away. Jimmy is right here. but he's also got the team behind him. He's just constantly running for his life instead of putting himself in a good spot. What I will say, guys, is if you get into a good position for endgame, you can pick up a lot of free kills. These people have to rotate to you. He's probably going to get smoked from the right here in a second, or he's going to get smoked from straight ahead. Or he's going to somehow manage to survive this like they managed to survive thus far. Okay, so now all of a sudden, look at exactly what I told you guys. What did I tell you about this building? Nope, I did not place 40th. You saw nothing. What did I tell you about this building right here? That's where his circle is pulling. He's going to go third party this. Now he's going to end up going down here. He's going to... There's one right there. There's another across. Just push to this building. Push to the one to your right. Good shots right there. Push to the one to your right. Get ahead of this guy. He's going to loot. What if he just wins this? This guy's got 9 spectators right now. Now he's down to 6. What if he just wins this? Like, he's just fighting for... See how he's constantly fighting for his life? He's never in a position where he can breathe. Yep. So, I don't think you can. He doesn't have enough to buy back. But, like, he has very minimal cover right here. So, there's no spot to be in circle. Well, he could be in circle with cover, but still be in a pretty bad position here because he has no high ground. He does have the precision right here, which he can use to get a thirst or to kind of help him get across. He also does have stims. I would try to get up. Can he get on top of the... Yeah, he can. I would push across and get up top here. I would also be thinking about one back behind you. There could be people already up here, and he just dropped down. He gets the kill. 8 other people. Right, 4 teams, 8 people. So we're starting to do math. No, he used that too early, in my opinion. He didn't need to use that. Yep, you got to get in here. Watch one to your right here. There could be a team rotating from your right. There's most likely is because of where that cluster's coming from. Watch your right side here. They could be above you. No, don't use that now. You got to rotate. You've got to get to, like, this building right here. Or you can play the wall, but I'm pretty sure there's a team above you. You see how, like, because of the position they put themselves in by challenging that team, and they... Actually, let me go back here. Let's let him die. Remember how they were all the way over... They were driving to this side right here? That decision is why they're put in the spot they are now. Because they got fried by the team on the bridge. Then they had to finesse all the way around. They decided to try to challenge. Then they had to swim for their lives. Then they had to rotate in a circle. That one decision to push out towards the outskirts with no cover is the reason that they ended up in that position. 3 other teams. Sunday Funday here has 4 kills. Playing a little solo trios at this point. Don't know if his teammates backed out on him. 3 other teams, 6 other people. We don't really know the breakdown, but I would always assume that there's a full team. Always assume that there's a team of 3 right here that you're going to be fighting. No, you're okay. You can chill. You don't need to get there. Just push left a little bit. Yeah. You're still good right here. Wait for them. Wait another circle. Nothing wrong with waiting another circle right here and just seeing what happens. Let's see where it pulls to. Pull left. Pull left. Pull back to him. He's in a really good spot here. Now, he needs to let them fight for a little bit. No, don't do that now. Thank you. Yep. He's got a rocket launcher and a freaking... Oh, my gosh. No. Just chill. You're good. And attack V. He's not in a great spot. He has no gas mask. So if you have a gas mask here, guys, I'd rotate early and try to get up top. There's one. There's the team of 3. It's almost like I know what exactly is going to happen. Now, there's still teams rotating from his left side. He's going to... Okay, so he's going to die here. This is going to get really chaotic. 3v2v1 scenario. There's one right there. 3v2 scenario. Other teams already across the street. He's going to get run over by the train in 3, 2, 1. Nope. I think that's it. There's the last guy. Last guy's up top. There's the win. Holy chaos right there. That was a lot. But I think the biggest thing to learn from this as I turn this down, guys, is you see that one team that we followed, Jimmy and Rent Free. They drove out of the circle. Instead of starting to think about where they might want to be for endgame, they drove out towards the edge of the circle where there was absolutely no cover. They drove the car into the ravine. Then they get smoked by the team, and then they're just fighting for their lives. As opposed to starting to think about that endgame when that 4th circle is closing, starting to go, okay, here's probably the buildings we want to be in. You know, we don't know if it's going to pull towards airport or towards, you know, the little buildings over across the street, but we've got to start to position ourselves that way, and then once we're there, we can start to play that out. So I hope you found today's video helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.